Morning Badgers. Okay, so this week we are going to make a very funky geometric little recycled plant pot, okay, where you're going to grow your own little pinecone fir tree. It should grow like a little bonsai tree, which I think is really cool. All right, so it has got a little label on there and they've been sent up for you, so it's got the growing instructions on. All right, but it's a really cool little geometric plant pot design made from a cereal box. So that is what I asked you to bring in for this week's session. Okay, so there's quite a bit of measuring, all right, particularly as we've got to measure out and draw a series of equilateral triangles, which means they've all got the same angle, okay, and each side is exactly the same in terms of measurement. Okay, so I'm going to draw it out and hopefully you'll be able to follow it, pausing where you need to, and you'll all have a successful net drawn out in a few minutes' time. Right, so we undo our cereal box. We've got a nice flat piece of cardboard. Okay, and we're going to need pencil, ruler, and also a compass this morning. All right, so we do need to make sure that our measuring is nice and accurate because this is the shape of the net that we need to draw out. So basically a net is a three-dimensional shape or a piece of packaging usually, okay, of some sort of box. And a net is what it looks like before it's assembled. So what it looks like, it's almost like the pattern, if you like, for your box. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 7 equilateral triangles to draw. We are going to draw these out much bigger. We're going to work at about 9 centimetres. Okay, so each line is going to be 9 centimetres and each angle is also going to be the same. All right, but our compass is going to help that us do that this morning. We won't need a protractor. Okay, a bit like we did last week when we did the clocks. So I'm going to start off and hopefully you can see my pencil lines, okay, but I will use a pen if I need to. So I'm going to measure from the start of my ruler, okay, on the first little line to 9 centimetres and then again another 9 centimetres. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to put my pencil in my compass. Now when you're using a compass it's important that your pencil and the point are both level, okay, and you tighten that up so it's nice and tight. All right, and we're going to set our compass at 9 centimetres. So I'm going to put the point on one end of my line and line the pencil up with that first little dash that I've done, okay, and then don't move your compass at all, so just hold one little leg of it. I'm going to do a little arc at the top there. And I'm going to do the same thing again here. So I've got a little cross. Okay, now hopefully you can see that. If not, I'm just going to draw over those lines. Unfortunately, my felt tips and none of my pens actually fit inside my compass this morning, which is not very helpful. Okay, so where those 2 lines cross, if I just draw over them in pen, look, that's the top of our triangle there. Okay, I'm going to do that again on this one. Okay, so it's a bit like you can draw a full line if you want, if that helps. Okay, so again, look, we've got where those over, that's the top of our triangle. So I will use pen now just so that you guys can see that a bit better. So we're going to join that up. So I'm joining where the lines intersect, look, where they actually cross over, and down here where I've got my first mark. I know this is a little bit tricky to see because my camera is set up so that it's not actually in my way on a stand, but the only way I can set it up is it to film back to front, which isn't very helpful, so I will turn that around. All right, so that's what you need to have first of all. You can then see that we just join those 2 up. Okay, and we've got the first section of our net here. Look, we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing again with our compass. If you look now, we need a triangle joined to this one. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I haven't moved my compass, so it's set at 9 centimetres. I'm going to do an arc up here. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. So where those lines cross over, I can pop a little dot. And again, with my pen and my ruler, I can join that up. So that gives me my 4th triangle, which is this one here in the middle. All right, you can then see that I need 1 here and 1 here. So I will do the same thing again with my compass. Okay, on this line. So the point needs to be over here somewhere. So I'll do an arc and I'll do another arc. And again, where those lines cross, that is the tip of my triangle. And like I said, you can pause this video whenever you need to. Now what you will notice as well, actually, some of you may have picked up, well actually if I keep my ruler on that line, okay, and I pop 9 centimetres here at this point, I should be able to just draw a line straight over to 0, and that gives me my 9 centimetres. And then I can actually pop my ruler along this line here, and that should join up perfectly, look, to give you your last triangle. Okay, so all these lines are parallel, so they should all run together. Okay, so I've got those 6 now, all right. I just need one more. Go here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop my ruler. Okay, so I can either just continue up this way, or I can make sure I can use my compass. Again, so popping the point on both ends of those triangles. Look, it should meet in the same place, which it has done. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to draw my last line there. Okay, so I've got the same pattern as I have here on my net. Now the last thing I need to do is add the flaps. Okay, so I've got one here, and you can just freehand draw those in. Now make them a good sort of 1.5 centimetres, couple of centimetres, look, because you want enough of a flap to actually get some glue on. So they're 1.5 centimetres, look there. Okay, so let's just turn that around again the right way up, that way. So that one's that one. So I need one on this side and one on this side here. So again, let's just measure and get all the flaps the same size, just so our net's nice and neat. So about 1.5. Okay, and I need one on this side. So again, the last flap, we'll draw that in. Okay, and then let's just check we've actually got the same thing here. All right, so we have, haven't we? We've got our 7 triangles, 3 flaps, okay, and we've got the exact same pattern here. So the next thing we need to do is accurately cut that out with a pair of scissors. Now the next thing we need to do to ensure that we have nice crisp folds, because this cardboard is quite stiff, okay, it's not going to be as easy to fold as paper, is we do something called scoring. So this is where we take our scissors and we use the edge of the blade with our ruler, and we almost make a sort of indentation in the lines, okay, and that just helps us fold in a nice crisp straight line. So you just kind of scratch the surface of the cardboard, and we do that on all of the lines. Okay, quite firmly. We're not trying to cut our net to pieces, but we are trying to make sure that we get nice accurate folds so that our little geometric shape goes together really accurately. So just think I've got all of those lines now. Done them all, I think. Yeah. And we should just be able to now really crisply and easily fold along all of those lines. Now, if you've got some natural creases in your cereal box included, don't worry too much about that. Your form will still go together, okay? So I've folded all of those, all right? And then it's a case of, can you see how it goes together? So each flap will correspond and join to a side of your triangle when you fold it up, and it sits on a little triangular base like that, look. So it's quite clever. So it's actually a triangle. Yeah, it's got 5 sides, which is interesting, even though the bottom has only got 3. So it's quite a groovy little shape. So let's get some Pritt stick and stick that together. You might find you need to hold it with some sellotape as well. So get lots of glue on those flaps. Now, sometimes this nature of this cardboard, because it's sort of printed with shiny kind of ink, and obviously the finish is for food packaging, it's quite sometimes it slides open, so if you need to stick it with a bit of sellotape as well, that's fine, you can pop the sellotape. Okay, now before you plant your little pine cone, Okay, we're going to need to make the inside of your little plant pot waterproof. So I have used a little bit of the cereal packaging, so the actual bag that the cereal's in. Now, if you threw that away by accident, it's easy to do with a plastic wallet.